What's up, guys? It is a beautiful Friday here, and welcome to another episode of the Bull Rush Live. I just wanted to welcome all 136,968 Bull Rush players. It's been a great week. We've seen lots of action. We've had a few competitions come to an end, like our July main event competition, which we'll go over here in just a minute, and plus much, much more. We've announced one of our biggest, actually, not one of, the biggest competition we've ever done with the biggest cash. That's cash, not credits, not our biggest cash money giveaway competition that we've ever had. So stay tuned because we're going to talk about that. We're going to play a quick video about that so you can learn how to win your share of $100,000. It's actually more than 100,000. It's 110,000 that we're going to be giving away. We'll get real deep into that, but it's about $50,000 for the fun. Why am I so short on this camera? Sorry, I just realized I'm not actually this short, guys. Let me raise my chair up a little bit. There you go. Maybe that's a little better. There you go. Sorry, I look really short in that, in there. But yes, $100,000 in the final round of the. It's going to be a tournament. Final round has $100,000, and we're giving away around $10,000 throughout all the other rounds. So you do not want to miss that. That is going to be action packed. Like I said, we have the July main event competition where some people won some massive prop accounts. And then, of course, we got some news for you guys. We got some really interesting news with the IMF in Forex. We got some news out of the Federal Reserve. And, of course, we just had the non-farm payroll announced, so we'll dive deep into the non-farm payroll news and get all of that info for you. We also have our non-farm 1 hour non-farm payroll competition running right now, which you can still enter. It runs from 1 hour from 8:30, so it started about 3 minutes ago until 9:30, and we're giving away some really good prizes. It's sponsored by New Squawk, so we're giving away massive New Squawk subscriptions. I believe the first place one is 6 months, and then I think it's like the top 10 get like 1 month subscriptions. Second place gets 3 months. We'll dive into that and show that to you guys, and of course we'll use New Squawk so we can check out all of the data there. We got some big news out of crypto. The FBI, of course, came up big this week with a huge seizure of 20 Bitcoin, about $2.4 million worth of Bitcoin. So we'll dive into that and tell you everything you need to know. We'll give you the new updates on Bitcoin and stable coins, as it's been a slightly rough week this week for crypto. And of course, we'll give you all of the updates on the new Genius and Clarity Acts out of Washington and what that means for the future of crypto. And then last but not least, we got some really interesting news in sports. We got some NIL updates on the college sports here in America. We got some updates in cricket between the England and India series. And then last but not least, we're going to give you some rugby, Irish rugby news updates for you. And who knows, we might do a giveaway. You got to stay to the end to find out. But first, last but not before we start, let's get into some of the winners of our July XP, our July monthly competition. So let's dive right into that and check that out. Sorry, adjust my mic here. So, as you guys know, every week we have our satellite competition here where we have the hourlies, which go into the dailies which go into weekly competitions, and then the winners of the weekly competition get moved on to our monthly competition. The monthly competition runs every month from, near the beginning of the month till about the 30th, 31st of the month. So this last one ended 2 days ago on the 30th. As you can see, this is the August one, which will start here on August. It actually starts today at 5 p.m. So all the people who won the weeklies and some of the dailies or just paid to enter this will be able to compete in this competition. So let's check out the July main event, which is right here. How's everybody doing in the chat, by the way? How's everybody doing? Let me know where you guys are watching from. I'm always interested. I know we got Master Terrace Ford Best. Lives real close to us here, just south of us here in, wow, I just had a brain fart. Trinidad, I think? Tobago? Something like that. But welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Let me make sure my chat is up here. Looks like we have, yep, there you go. Computer just froze there for a sec. Let me make sure everything is going good in the chats here. Yes. I know you want to have this money. Just stay tuned. You're going to find out how. Give me a sec here. Yes. Okay. Everything looks good in the hood. Make sure I don't. Okay, everything. What's up, Sharon? Always good to see you. I always like seeing you in the chat here. Well, yep. Well, thank you for saying that. Made sure we have everything good. So I do see the chat coming through. What's up, Sharon? Our weekly. Where are you from, by the way? I think you've told me this before, but let me know in the chat, Sharon, where you're from. Anyways, let's get into this while I wait for Sharon to respond. Let's get into this 100K July main event. So if you don't know, every month this is what we're giving away: 50K prop account to first place plus 50% of the prize pool, 25K prop account to second place, and 25% of the prize pool. What's up, Mikey B? How are you doing? We got 10K prop account for third place plus 10% of the prize pool, 10K prop account for fourth place plus 10% of the prize pool, and a 5K prop account for fifth place plus 5% of the prize pool. Sorry, India, my brother. I've always wanted to go there. If I ever go there, the next time I'm in India, you got to show me around. It's one of my bucket list places to go. I love India. I love Indian food too. Ooh, a little bit of butter chicken. Anyways, so that's the prizes for this. Let's check out the leaderboard for round 2 and see who secured it. So we got Chris Nair here in first place. He secured that 50K prop account with 11.14% return. We got Dung Tran in second with 5.85% returns, and then third place we got Softwork. As you can see here, we got the goats of BullRush up here. We got Chris Nair, who we've seen in a ton of competitions. We got Softwork, who we've seen in a ton of competitions, and we got John McSee. He got DQ'd, but he pretty much came in 6th place here, who has also been in a lot of competitions. And I'm sure if we go over here to the XP leaderboard, at least 2 out of 3 of these guys are going to be in the big XP leaderboard. But congratulations to these guys on winning. Congratulations on getting those prop accounts. 50K prop account is huge. Remember, these are all A-booked prop accounts. So that means once you are funded and you're in the level 4, you will receive. There's no profit target. There is a drawdown, but you can get on-demand payouts. So all these guys will be able to get on-demand payouts at level 3. We've already had a few people that have gotten on-demand payouts. I actually interviewed last week our first ever payout on BullRush Prop, and that interview should be dropping today, later this evening. So stay tuned for that. But congratulations to all these guys. These prop accounts are huge opportunity. Of course, BullRush has never missed a payout, so I can't wait to see one of these guys get a payout, and I can't wait to see these guys get booked. Just because I said it, let's check out the XP. I want to see if, like I said, I think I'm going to bet that either Chris Nair, Softwork, or John McSee are on one of these leaderboards, whether it's the monthly or the total. So let's look at the total first. Softwork, what did I say? Softwork is in first place, and of course we got my brother who just popped in the chat. What better timing there, Master Terrace for best. We got my brother here, who is from Trinidad Tobago, here in second place in the XP. For anybody that doesn't know, Master Terrace for best here is one of the goats of BullRush. He is a trader like no other. If you guys are in the Discord, I don't know, you know him. If you're not, I don't know what you're doing. You need to do whatever you can and hop in any of our links in our bios and join our Discord, because you see daily analysis from Master Terrace for best and many other people that give their trades, their analysis, and lots of other information. I would be willing to bet that we have the fastest growing Discord on the internet right now for like-minded traders, and now sports pickers too, because we have the latest sports picking and betting news on there. So look, I was right. I told you 1 out of the 3 people are going to be here on this, and I bet you one of them is also on this monthly XP board. All right, maybe I'm wrong on that one. We'll forget about that one. Maybe I'm wrong on the monthly XP, but one of them was on the overall XP leaderboard. Without further ado, is anybody in this chat? Let's go. We got Mark over here. He said he's been killing the BullRush basic challenges. This is something that, of course, as you guys know, I've said it before. Because I work for BullRush, I cannot compete in any of these. I can't compete in the competitions. Obviously, it'd be a little unfair if I competed in them. But I can't compete in the competitions, and I can't do the challenges. But one thing that I think is so undervalued here on BullRush that a lot of people like Mark here do, and they make some really good money, is these basic challenges. unlike a prop challenge where if you pass the challenge, you get a funded account, and then you still have to get profitable there to get a payout. These are just straight up profit. So if you buy the $50 2-to-1 challenge and you pass, so look down here, it says if you win the challenge. So if you pay $50 for this challenge and you pass, you win $140. What? What? How does that, how can you beat that? So $140 there. If let's say you do want to do the $100 one, you beat that, you get $280, and that's just our basic 2-to-1 ones. Now the 3-to-1, you pay $50, you pass it, you get $185 for $50. Turn $50 into 181, and then that's just the basic ones. Where you get really crazy is when you get to double up and profit factor. Now double up, for the double up 3-to-1, you pay $75, right? And you win $185 for the 3-to-1. And then, but this is, sorry, I'm sorry, I had that wrong. So the double up, what the double up is essentially is just like the basic, but it gives you a chance to double up after that. So you can pass it twice. So let's say you pass the first one, boom, you win $185, right, out of your $75, right? So a little bit more expensive, but you win the same amount that if you paid $50 for the traditional 3-to-1 challenge. Now, this is where it gets interesting. You have the choice to double up, where if you go back again and then hit that profit target again, that 15% profit target, now you're going to win $370. So this is a great way. You can turn $75 into $370, or over here you can turn $37 into $185. You can even turn $7.50 into $28. So wherever your level is, this is a great place. Kiwat over here on TikTok is asking, help me. You need some money, brother? Well, luckily for you, we have the smallest double up here, which is $7.50, about 2 cups of coffee, depending on where you live. If you can save up, just don't have coffee for 2 days, go in here, get this double up. You can get the $37 double up here, or $7.50, make it to $37, and then go in here and buy the $37 one and turn that into $185, and then from that you could buy the $150 double up and turn $150 to $74. So brother Kiwat, I just gave you the blueprint to turn $7.50 into $740 with 3 steps. 3 steps. Well, 3 steps have 2. Each step has 2, so 6 steps. But pretty much 3 challenges, and you can turn $7.50 into $750. And then, of course, we have a profit factor, which is the hardest. But if you can do it, it's the biggest. It's the biggest return. So with the profit, it's set up a little bit different. It's more like the basic, but just with different rules. So instead of getting, instead of where you have to get a profit target and of 10% and a maximum static drawdown of 5%, with the profit target, every trade counts. So you get exactly 50 trades to meet your profit factor and win percentage and average winning P&L. It's a number game. So profit factor takes in all of those. It takes win percentage, average winning and average winning P&L. Jeez, I don't know why I can't say that. So with that, you need with profit factor, you need a 3. You need a win percentage of 60%, and you need an average winning P&L of $300. And if you pass that on the $25 one, you win $75. So sure, but I mean, I've seen people just talking about getting challenges and funding yourself. I've seen people go in here, start off just like I told you. I think if you go on our Discord and if you go on our YouTube too, I've interviewed this guy. We had a guy named Calabrito, I think is how you pronounce his name. He had a started on a $5 one and just kept hitting those challenges, kept passing the challenges, and I think after like 5 or 6 challenges, he turned $5 into like over $500, $600, and he went and he said, yep, he went and got funded. He got like $25,000, $30,000 funded with that money, and he went on vacation. He went on a little mini vacation, I believe. I won't say where he lives, but he lives in Europe, so he went on a little staycation somewhere in Europe, and it was, I mean, it's great. I love hearing those stories, and if you go on our Discord, you'll see other stories like that. It's really, really great. Before we get into some of the news here, let's just go over one more competition that's actually going live right now. It's that Trade the News competition. So with the Trade the News, sponsored by News Squawk, it's a 1 hour competition. Right now we have 347 people still in there. 366 originally joined, and the prizes are as follows. First place gets a 6 month subscription, second and third get 3 month, and then fourth all the way through, is it more than 10th? Yeah, so fourth through 10th place get a 1 month subscription to News Squawk. If you don't know about News Squawk, it is the best, fastest trading economic news calendar out there. Right now I have it set to just US, but you can get pretty much any country in the world. You can sort it by order of importance, and of course you can go by date, so you can look future ones, past ones, etc. So let's look at non-farm payroll, because I've been so busy I have not even looked at it. So wow, the expected one this month was 110,000, and the previous month, last month's, was 147,000. And this month, expected 110, it is 73,000. So much more significantly, much more lower than we usually are. Master Shares for Best on YouTube just said, for me, it's a pleasure to contribute with immense pleasure. Analysis, hi bro Davin. A few days ago, I brought some arena challenges, and I hope to soon complete those 3-to-1 challenges, both of which I am. Well, all the luck to you, brother. I hope that you do pass those. Just so you guys know what I'm talking about, I'll give you guys a sneak peek of our Discord. This is, of course, private, but it is free to enter. So if you go over here in our general chat, you can see some of the analysis. Like here is some of Master Chairs for the Best. Beautiful analysis here, technical analysis. We get all of these news, some fundamental analysis as well. Some really great analysis that you see here, obviously from our star over here, Master Chairs for Best. If you go over here to our trade discussion, you'll see all of the wins from our team. So we see all of the beautiful trades that people have done. People are sharing their strategies, trades. Of course, we got all of the latest Forex news. We got the latest crypto news feeds that update 24/7 too, by the way. So no matter what time zone you're in, no matter where you are, we constantly have these coming out. And of course, we got our sports news coming out. So all these really great things, like here, Baltimore Ravens at what line preview. So really great previews on sports picking lines and all of that. So, and of course, all your latest news. I get actually, fun fact, I get some of the news that I use for our live stream from these channels. So make sure you hop in there. If you're not in there yet, hop in there now. We have some really great things coming out, and of course we got giveaways. So we got, see, no giveaway right now, but we got some giveaways that happen a couple times a week. We're doing some sort of giveaway in our Discord, so make sure you hop in there. But really crazy, honestly. I had a feeling the non-farm was going to be a little lower this month, just with everything happening in the US here. I did not think it was going to be that much lower. Expected was 110. I was thinking it was going to be just under 100. I was thinking maybe in the 90s, somewhere around there. But 73, much lower than I thought. So let's see what people are doing in this competition. So if you, and also, if you are a scalper, you like trading those short time frames, this is the perfect competition for you. We see some very aggressive trading here, and it gets very exciting. So I'll be popping in and out here throughout the live stream just to give you guys some updates. So yeah, we see first place already has 12.89% returns in just, what is it, 22 minutes about. So about first 22 minutes, he has 12.89% return. Second place has 9.89 return, and third place has 7.93% returns. Another beautiful thing about BullRush, of course, as everybody already knows, you can go in there and check out all of their exact trades. So we go in here. Yeah. So it looks like he hasn't closed any trades actually. So we can't see because he has no closed trades. So this is all open. So he could definitely, everything could crash here, and he could definitely lose his first place spot here very easily. Let's see if we can find someone who has some closed trades here. So there you go. We have one close trade here with $8,505 in profit. So you can just tell here what kind of massive trades. It was a buy position on Euro USD of 15 lots. So he probably did his max lot position there, and it worked out for him. So congratulations there. Like I said, we'll be hopping back in and out of this competition to see who's winning the money. Wow, well, would you look at that? That brings me right into my next point here. Let's hop over here to a quick ad, and then we'll talk about how you can win your portion of this $100,000 that we're giving away soon. I mean, just trust me, I like holding all this money. I like putting it on my head. But, you know, without further ado, let me play a quick ad, and you can learn how you could win this money.
This isn't fantasy football, it's real competition. Welcome to the NFL Survivor Tournament. You versus the field. $100 to enter, $100,000 in total prizes, $50K to the winner. Start each week with a $100K bankroll. Pick games, win returns. Top 80% survive. Bottom 20%, you're out. Bankroll resets weekly, no carryover. 20 weeks, 100K. Will you take home the cash? Sign up, lock in, and let's see if you've got the guts to survive.
Do you have the guts to survive? So pretty much 20 weeks. First 10 weeks, the first placer of every week is getting a guaranteed spot in the final round, which the final round has $100,000 worth of prizes. For week 11 through 19, 10 through 19, I believe, we're giving away $1,000 every week, plus the first placer gets a guaranteed spot in the final prize pool, which means if you get first place in, let's say, round 10, and then round 11 you DQ, you don't place in the top 80%, don't worry. Yeah, you can't compete in round 13, 14, 15, 16 to get those little $1,000 prizes, but you have a guaranteed spot in the final round, round 20, where there's a $100,000 prize pool, and first place is winning $50,000. So just to put it into perspective, the most you can win if you win first place in every single round between round 10 and 20 with the cash prizes, you'll win $500 pretty much every week there. So that's $5,000 over those 10 weeks. And then you'll win another $50,000 for first place of the final week. So all in all, do the math. That's $55,000 that you can win from just $100 entry. I mean, that means that you could turn this $100 into about 50% of this. So about 50, I don't know, it's about half of this. So $100 into all of this. I mean, that is a come up if you didn't ask me. That's a lot of cups of coffee. All of you guys who have, trading setups, all you guys who, if you watch football, you want to go see a game, you want to come travel to America and watch a football game. If you live in Europe and you want to see one of those European games, this is the best way to join, the best way to make money. And for all you guys watching on the live stream here, I'll give you guys a really good hint. So the top 80% every week move on, right? Which means you just have to be better than the bottom 20%. And what I'll guarantee is the first few weeks, there's going to be a lot of people that are just going full tilt every time. So if I was you, little live stream insider, I would just place a couple picks. You don't have to play. You have to place, I think, a minimum of 1 or 2 picks because even if you lose all. Well, we're back on here. So we're going to talk about some news real quick. So first off, the International Monetary Fund. We'll just keep it on this screen while we talk about this. So first off, the International Monetary Fund has raised its global, I'm sorry. I want you guys to be able to. Woo. Sorry, we're gonna do something real quick here. So we like to be full transparency here at BullRush. For my main camera over there that I was on, full transparency, it gets a little hot in this studio that I'm in. So we had a fan that cooled it off. But we shot some commercials the other day for this NFL Survivor, and unfortunately, I lost the fan. I can't find the fan anymore. So we cannot use that fan, or we can't use that camera for too long because it overheats in this room. So we're going to switch over to this main cam here. But first off, the International Monetary Fund has raised its global growth forecast, citing softer U.S. dollar and easing tariff pressure. The IMF now expects the world economy to grow 3% this year and 3.1% in 2026. The United States is projected at 1.9% of growth, and China at 4.8%. And the United Kingdom is on track to be one of the top performers of the G7. The weaker dollar has eased debt burdens for emerging markets, though the IMF warned central banks to stay independent and resist political pressures. Meanwhile, in Washington, the Federal Reserve has kept interest rates unchanged at 4.25% to 4.50%. Despite mounting political calls for cuts, Chair Jerome Powell says the central bank will remain data dependent, signaling no immediate on September rate cuts. Very interesting. And finally, a major shake, because I guess we gave you guys some very, very high tariffs, and we gave you guys some very, very high tariffs, and we'll see how that goes. Again, with all of this tariff stuff, it's kind of unknown waters here. We can all kind of speculate what will happen, we can all speculate on what could happen, but what actually will happen, only time will tell. So to the big dog of the conversation, crypto. We start out in Dallas, where the FBI seized more than 20 Bitcoin valued at $2.4 million. Excuse me. $2.4 million from a ransomware operator linked to the Chaos Cybercrime Group. Investigators say that the group used cryptocurrency to launder proceeds from attacks targeting U.S. businesses. The bust marks another win for law enforcement in the fight against crypto-enabled cybercrime, showing that even blockchain transactions aren't beyond the reach of the federal government. Now, I think we've seen that a few times in the past with some of these other, Silk Road, great example of that. If you remember, I think it was probably October of last year, we talked about these two brilliant gentlemen out of Miami. I think they're actually from Singapore, but they lived in Miami, who I think they laundered, it was $260 million worth of Bitcoin from one person. Tried to hide it through all these elaborate mesh of different wallets and stuff, and of course the federal government was still able to trace it. Remember, everyone, even though the blockchain and crypto is decentralized, it doesn't mean it's completely hidden. Yes, there's ways to make it to be a ghost in crypto, but remember, it's a double-edged sword. Even because everything is completely decentralized, it's public. Everything is public data. I can see everybody's wallet. Now, there's not a name necessarily linked to all these wallets, but you can see all the wallets. With more investigative research and digging, you can, of course, put a name to every wallet. So in that, yes, it's anonymous, but because it's so transparent, nothing will stay away. I think there's another, we talked about another story maybe a couple months ago about a lady in England. Same thing. She started buying $1 million houses, and when you're a cleaning lady, which I think she was like a cleaning lady or something, and you're buying a McLaren and $100 million or $20 million mansions, people are going to start looking. And even though your money's hidden, people don't know where the money's coming from. Of course, they can geolocate and do all of that things, and you will get caught. So moral of the story, don't break the law, make a shit ton of money legally, and live an amazing life. Meanwhile, Bitcoin itself has had a rough week. On July 26th, prices plunged from $122,000 all the way down to $115,000 in just one day. to a wave of leverage position liquidations and rising geopolitical uncertainty as the main drivers. And the pain may not be over. Support levels are being watched closely. And finally, in year oversight. The debate underscores growing friction between the White House and major players in digital asset space, a dynamic that could define the next phase of U.S. crypto policy. Again, another crypto double-edged sword where, yes, the just as we saw from our first news story, the industry does need regulation, but of course, some of the biggest players, more regulation means tougher for them to operate. So, of course, there's going to be some battles there, but I have a good feeling that in the end, this will all turn out good for the consumer, and it'll be positive for the consumer. And then, last but not least, let's head over to sports and just cover the few sports stories that we have. So we start in U.S. college sports, where a landmark settlement has reshaped the rules for name, image, and likeness compensation. NIL collectives can now pay athletes up to 20.5. Sorry, if you can read that, look how that's written. I'm sorry, I don't know why that was written like that. $20.5 million. That is the weirdest way I've seen that. But they can now. What is that, 20,500,000, I guess? Okay. NIL collectives can now pay athletes up to $20,500,000, but only for legitimate endorsements, not disguised recruitment incentives. Ole Miss, Louisiana, Texas. Sorry. Notre Dame. There's been some people that have been known to pay to get them to come over. So not disguised as recruitment incentives. Supporters say this eases legal pressure on college athletes while giving student athletes, more earning power. Critics warn it still leaves gray areas ripe for abuse. Yes, very interesting. I mean, I think NIL in the long run is very, very obviously positive for players, and I think the sport in general. These colleges are making hundreds of millions of dollars, not only off of sports, but just in general. They're making hundreds of millions of dollars off of these hyperinflated tuition fees, and then they're making hundreds of millions of dollars off of these athletes that give up 4 years of their life to pursue a career in sports. And again, they should not be they shouldn't be broke in college, when the colleges are making hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, when I went to Florida Atlantic University, and I'm not going to say his name, but one of my college roommate neighbors, he was in the dorm right next to me, was a running back, when he got out of college, played for the Buffalo Bills. Again, won't say his name, but I remember he was my roommate, and back then, I was one of the many jobs I had was I worked at a burger chain called Five Guys, and I would have to give this man. I mean, I wouldn't have to. He was my friend, so I would do it, but I would give him free food all the time because he would tell me, he was like, "Yeah, man, they give me like $200 a month or whatever in spending money," and because that was like back then before NIL, the universities would give them like a certain amount of money just to buy food and live and go do random stuff. So I don't know what it was called, but back then they gave him, it was like $200, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm making like $200. Like, I don't have any money left. Can you please let me?" He wasn't begging, but I knew we would talk and knew he wasn't doing good. So I'd always give him free food, and they shouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Now they can go out there and make millions of dollars. If anybody knows, there's a famous case about 5-7 years ago about a quarterback who was like getting some money for some sponsorship, and he got kicked out of the NCAA and couldn't play football anymore, and then lost his NFL contract. So good news, I think, from sports. But on the other end, I thought it was funny where they say not disguised as recruitment incentives, because like some of those colleges I mentioned before, everybody knows there's some of these colleges out here that are cannibalizing athletes from other schools, from right out of high school, giving them signing bonuses and stuff like that, which I think it should be I think when someone picks a school, I think it should be a pick from them of where they want to go, not just money. Now, over the cricket pitch where the England-India series has ignited fresh drama at Old Trafford, India refused to accept a post-match. Now head-to-head oval test under a very, very exciting match over their last match right there. Now, since we're on sports and we have some more viewers here, I don't want to miss the competition. We're going to hop in and give some live trading here in a moment here, so stay tuned if you're waiting for that. We're going to hop in and check out what's happening in the News Squawk trading competition. So stay tuned. We're going to go into that. But while we're on the topic of news, for anybody who missed it, we're giving away $100,000 of cold hard cash. Now, are you wondering? Let me get my mic here. Now, you wonder, how can you win this $100,000, right? Well, it is with our NFL Survivor competition. So let me hop over here. There you go. Our NFL Survivor competition. It's going to be 20 weeks of NFL action. Every week, of course, there's 20 weeks total. I mean, I think it's like 16 weeks of regular season, a few weeks of postseason, and then the final, of course, Super Bowl, which is going to be the final round where we're giving away $100,000. It's actually $110,000, and when we get to the prizes, I'll tell you guys why it's $110,000. So, trying to keep this on my head for this whole entire ad read here. So, every week, the top 80... Okay, all right, we're going to put it down here. Every week, the top 80% move on, the bottom 20% out, right? $100,000 guaranteed prize pool, $100 entry fee. A lot cheaper than what a lot of you guys are spending money on. I know what you guys are spending money on this coffee and gambling and OnlyFans and stuff like that. Put $100 toward this, and you got a way better chance of doubling your money here. Not doubling, sorry, 100x. Actually, technically, if you win first place, 500x. So, good shot there. Survive all the 20 rounds, and you claim them. It resets round. So, let's say you win your first place in the first round. You automatically, no matter what happens in those other 19 rounds, you're automatically in the final round. So, that's the prize pool for the final round. And then, of course, we have weekly rewards. So weeks 1 through 9, first place will get, like I said, free entry into that final round with a $100,000 prize pool. And then for weeks 10 through 19, first place is going to be getting, of course, guaranteed entry into round 20 plus $500. Second place is going to get $350, and third place is going to get $150. And plus we'll throw in some other prizes here and there. Who knows? You never know. But those are the prizes weekly. So like I said, hypothetically, if between week 10 through 19 you get first place every time, and then you win first place over here, you get $55,000. You win all those other rounds and you get second, $25,000. So there's really some really big, think about it, even if you win, let's say 2 of these first round ones, you win $1,000, and then you place whatever, anything between 10th and however many people are in the final round, you still win $200. You just won $1,200. You just turned $100 into $1,200, 12x'd it. Like, no matter how you look at it, this is a competition you don't want to miss. This is probably the best Survivor competition ever that's ever been on the internet, as far as like sports picking Survivor competitions. So there's really no other way around this. It's the best ever. Let me play a quick ad, and then we'll get back into the news squawk and give you guys some live trading. But you want this. Look at that. Look at that. $100 into this. I mean, you cannot beat that. Let's just hear it from the pros.
This isn't fantasy football. It's real competition. Welcome to the NFL Survivor Tournament. You versus the field. $100 to enter. $100,000 in total prizes. $50K to the winner. Start each week with a $100K bankroll. Pick games, win returns. Top 80% survive. Bottom 20%, you're out. Bankroll resets weekly, no carryover. 20 weeks, $100K. Will you take home the cash? Sign up, lock in, And let's see if you've got the guts to survive.
Huh? Oh, Mom, I gotta go. Sorry, I'm back on. I'm back on the show. I'm back on air. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Sorry, had to had to answer my answer when Mom calls. You can't leave Mom hanging. But I mean, I think that's all I have to say about that 100K competition there. Um, let's check out this. So this was the last time we viewed it. Let's hit a little refresh-a-roni here and see what's going on now. Oh, we got new winners here. So now we got first place. We got Sip a Hose through. In first place with 14.32% returns. Second place, we got Sufine00 with 9.32% returns. And in third place, we got Putra2 with 7.99% returns. Pretty far, but pretty spread out. Everybody's pretty spread out here. But as you guys know, this new squat competition, anything can happen. So we check this out. Let's check out the dashboard and see if he has it. No closed trades. It's crazy. I mean, people do not want to lock in these profits. I mean, that is really, really crazy to me. This man's made $14,000 pretty much actively. He has a trade open or maybe a couple trades open where he's made $14,000. And he still has not closed it. And we can see that here where his total equity, when you look at equity, that's including even open trades. And when you look at balance, that's just what he started at. And once he closes a trade, if he loses $10,000, that balance will go to 90. If he makes 10,000, that will go 110. Right now, his equity is 114,324. I would close that trade and maybe hop into another position to see if maybe, because that's what happened. I already forgot who the other guy was who was in first place. Yeah, I couldn't tell you now. But whoever was in first place but had 12% returns, and they obviously do not have that anymore because probably whatever trade they were in hit the opposite way and they weren't paying attention and they lost that. So if you're watching this, sip a hose through. I like your name, but I would close that trade and then maybe hop in another trade just to make sure because you already got 14.32%, $14,000 in profit. Second place is 5% behind. Yes. Can they catch up? Yes. It's a good chance. But can you also get disqualified before it's over? Yes. I feel like more than I feel like most of the time when someone's in like in first, second, or third place and they go back down to like fifth or something, more than just like the people behind them getting higher percentage returns and overpassing them, usually it's because just like in this scenario, they have open trades and they just never close their trades. And it's crazy. You can see here, first, no closed trades. Second, no closed trades. Third, no closed trades. There you go. Fourth place has some closed trades, which is crazy because you know what this means? He has 7.68% returns. Hypothetically, if all of these guys just whatever position they're in just reverses, whether in the buy position and it goes down or they're in a sell position it goes up, if their position just reverses and they happen to just get below 7% returns, boom, Emil, just because he closed his position and he's locked in at that 7.68% return, could just overtake them all and get first place, which I see that happen way more than, let's say, someone like Emil just places a bunch more trades and gets, 15% returns and overpasses them. So close your trades, guys. When you're profitable, close your trades. Don't get greedy, man. Don't be a little Mr. Krabs and just, money, money, money. Close your trades, be happy with what you got, and then if someone's close, like if this guy gets to like 3% behind or something, all right, put another position in. Let's see if you can squeeze out a couple more dollars to get a little higher. But with this, I mean, I would be coasting if I was you. I would just coast along and relax. I almost forgot. Oh, man, I almost forgot. So we got a brand new show starting here in August. We're going to have a little teaser on Monday, but it's going to be every single Monday with our newest host, Dan Leach. I'll play you guys a quick little commercial here for you. Just give me 30 seconds. I'll play a quick little commercial for you guys, but it is going to be our brand new TV show. It's going to be our brand new show. It's going to be covering NFL. It's going to be giving you all the latest picks. It's going to be giving you everything you need to know about NFL. So let me play this really quick. I'm sorry, I'm just finding it. It completely slipped my mind. Here you go. So let me play this for you guys. Oh. Boom. So this is Dan Leach, our newest member. Let's check it out.
What's going on, fine citizens? Football season is finally upon us. Rejoice. And I could be more excited to tell you that I'm partnering with my good friends at BullRush for a brand new show, the Monday Night Edge with Dan Leach. It's going to be sick. The hottest picks, the craziest game recaps, tons of giveaways, and so much more launching in August. Monday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern, for an hour on all major streaming platforms. You don't want to miss it. Be there and believe in the dream.
I mean, brother, if that didn't just get you freaking bored. Oh, I almost just knocked down my whole streaming setup. Okay, we're not gonna throw balls, but if that doesn't just get you fired up, man, whoo! If you watch football, if you're in the U.S., even if you're not in the U.S., if you just like football, or even if you don't even watch football, if you just want to learn about football and get cultured with it, and then if you're in that NFL Survivor Series and you want to learn about the picks that you should be picking to win, that is a show you don't want to miss. He's been in the industry for, longer than I was born. He's been watching football and commentating on football, again, longer than I've been alive. And his energy is unmatched. Every time I've gotten on a call with him, I've had nothing but fun talking to him. I think he's going to bring an energy here that we have not seen, and I think that this show is going to be one of the most exciting sports picking shows on the internet. So if you're a gambler, if you're a sports picker, if you're just an NFL fan and you want to know about the latest news and upcoming games and recaps and previews of games, this is the show you want to watch. It is going to be every single Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern on all of our platforms. So wherever you're watching this, it's going to be playing on there. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, X.com, Facebook, Instagram. It'll be playing on all of our social media platforms that allow streaming. So make sure you're in there. Make sure you're watching that every Monday night at 6 p.m. right before the Monday night game. We're going to be covering all of the future games of that week. We're going to be covering all of the crazy stuff that happened the week before. And, of course, we got the crazy energy of Dan Leach. He also runs a picking platform, so he is an expert sports picker. So he will be able to give you all of the insights on the best lines, the best picks to pick that week, and he'll give you everything you need to rise to the top of that NFL Survivor leaderboard. I'm going to give one more refresh on the new squat competition here because I'm just curious to see if somebody else passed. Nope, we still got Sipithos 2 in second place. We got Sufane in second place here. Sorry, Sipithos 2 in first place. Sufane 0-0 in second place. And Kuti in third place. Took over Putra 2, I believe. So very tight race here. Make sure you join that. It's going to be the first Friday. The new squawk happens the first Friday of every single month. Every day that it's on the day that we have the non-farm payroll release every month. So make sure you join that. Make sure you watch that. Don't forget to join the NFL. If you're wondering how to get there, go over here to click sports, and you can either scroll down and you'll see it over here, NFL Survivor, or you can go over here to click on sports on the left. Click on tournaments, and you see our NFL Survivor. If you've never done sports picking competitions, and you're like, man, I don't know, $100,000 is a lot of money, but also $100 is a good amount of money too. I don't know if I want to spend $100. Hop in our NFL preseason showdown. This is completely free to enter. Again, this has cash prizes as well. First place is just going to get rounds. You're going to kind of get a feel of how these sports picking competitions work. And, of course, then you'll be able to see if you want to join our next one. So make sure you hop in this one, the NFL preseason, like the way the competitions work. Re-entry into their next tournament here, the NFL Survivor. And envisioning that. Imagine the come up. This could be you. Stick with me here. All everybody here listen. All right, actually don't even look at me. Just close your eyes. Okay, envision this. You have no money or whatever your financial status is. That's where you're at, right? But you hop into BullRush. You hop into this NFL preseason competition, and you're like, you know what? I'm just here to see what's gonna happen. And then boom, you win. You win $100. You right here. You win $100, right? You can hear it. Is waving in front of you, right? You win $100, and then you're like, you know what? Let me join the NFL Survivor, and then bop bop bop, trade here, trade there, boom boom boom. 20 weeks later, next thing you know, you heard that? 50K in your bank account. And what did you put in at the beginning? $0. Now, if that's not a come up story, if anybody does that, now if the final person who wins the $50,000, I don't know. I'm going to figure out something crazy to do with them, whether I meet them somewhere, fly them out here, or we just do an over the phone interview. But I would love to talk to that. If somebody does that, that'll be the come up of the industry. I'll personally give out an extra prize for somebody who if they do that, because that's a come up of the century. If somebody wins the preseason, wins their $100, and then enters the NFL Survivor and wins $50,000. I mean, that's $0 to $50,000. That's a 50,000 times profit. I mean, you can't even fathom that. But I'm just rambling now. Without further ado, I've had a great show. Make sure you use code AMA promo for a 100% deposit bonus. Stay tuned. Every Monday starting in August at 6 p.m. Eastern, we'll have the new show, Monday Night Edge with Dan Leach. It'll be everything you need to know about NFL and the upcoming picks, who's injured, what's happening in NFL, everything you need to know. And I'll leave you guys with one quote here. And it was a quote I heard. I started doing this a few weeks ago, the quote of the week, just because I think everybody needs to hear something. And these quotes aren't even necessarily trading related, just for life, a good quote for life. So this is a quote I heard this week. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And, in life, I think that perspective is very, very, very important. And it really perspective is how you see the world. So however your perspective is how you're going to see the world. So if you are a brand new trader or starting out sports picking, but let's just stick with the trading example, you're a brand new trader and you're losing all this money and you're like, man, I keep failing challenges, and your perspective is, I suck at trading and I'll never be like, these Alex G or some of these other guys who are like good at trading and really profitable trading. Well, that's your reality. So if the way you look at trading is only people who are scamming, or only people who are doing educational courses, or only people who whatever your mindset is, like, oh, I'm not good enough because I live in this place, or I'm in this economic bracket, whatever your mindset is, and you think, oh, I can't do this because I'm not this, well, you'll never accomplish your goals. But if you look at it like, yeah, I can be a billionaire. I can be I can start my own trust. I can start my own hedge fund. I can become a trader and then eventually have a hedge fund, do all this. Then you can 100% do it. Whatever you imagine you can do, you can do. Which sounds stupid, but think about it and it'll make a lot of sense. I got really quiet, but on that note, have a great weekend. I will see you guys next week. I hope everybody had a great show. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Also, hop in the crypto weekend competition. It's going to be right here. It's completely free to enter. And I know you guys don't want to just sit on your hands. So if you want something, I'm in sports still. If you want something to do over the weekend, hop in that crypto trading competition, free to enter. And of course, we have 10 prizes there. So make sure you hop in there. It's, like I said, free to enter, 151 people. And if you want to learn about crypto or you like trading crypto, this is a great thing to do. I hope everybody has a great day. Use code AMA promo for 100% deposit bonus. Follow us on all social medias, BullRush Comp, BullRush_comp, or BullRush Competition. Study up. I'll see you guys next week, and hop in that NFL Survivor for your chance at 100,000 smackaroos. Smells good, man. forget to compete, and don't forget to have a blessed life. I don't know why this outro is taking so long. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Next week, we have the Monday Night Edge with Dan Leach. Peace.